Hi and welcome to Standout Teaching. This is a little demo about how to use our lesson infographic mats, in conjunction with the Standout Teaching website. So what you can see here is I've got a 6-part lesson template taken from the site, and I've already populated it with 5 out of the 6 lesson infographics which are available in the site. To show you some of the work that I've already done, I've created a lesson plan via the site. I chose 6 parts to my lesson. You see the timings and the details as well. If I just pop onto the site, there's the original lesson plan creator that I used to set up that template, and what I did is I exported it into Word. You'll also notice across the top that I have already launched each of the resources that I chose on the lesson plan. And just to show you how to do that, if I go back to the lesson plan, activity number 6, which is what I've still got to do, if you hover over it, all you need to do is click Control and click with your left hand mouse button, and it will launch it directly into your web browser. So if I just wait a minute, here's my final task for the lesson. So what I want to do is, if I scroll down, each resource has a lesson infographic on it, and I want to put that into my lesson infographic sheet. If I click on that, it gives me the full size image, and depending on how you want to do this, the way I do is I right hand click and copy image, go back to my lesson infographic, and then you can either go insert and then paste, or what you can do is I just right hand click and click the paste button there. Now you'll notice that the graphic goes behind the other graphics. This is simple to resolve. Click onto the graphic. Depending on your version of Word, it will have a picture modification tool at the top, and all I want to do is wrap text and in front of text. And you can see that's now jumped to the front. So the next stage then is just to resize that by clicking and dragging, pop it into the final box, and just resize it a little bit so that it actually fits. And there you can see the sequence of my activities, starting from the left, going round all the way to the final activity at the end. Now you'll notice that what we have here is the symbols telling the students what kind of activity it is, whether it's an individual, paired, teacher-led or group activity. And this final activity here is actually a paired activity. If you click on the little circles there, you can just drag them to highlight the type of activity that you want. The final stage then is the lesson donut, and this gives the timing information for each of these activities. Now this has been set up where it's a chart embedded into the document, and if you click on there, you should have chart tool appear at the top, yet again depending on your version of Word that you're using. And when I click on there, we've got edit data. When you click edit data, it will throw up a Microsoft Excel chart. And what you can do is you can modify these 2 columns. So what I'm now going to do is I'm just going to drop in my timings. So my starter was 5 minutes. Then I had an activity, in this case it was 15 minutes. Then I had a green pen activity which was 5 minutes, followed by another activity which was 10 minutes. My next activity after that was actually 5 minutes, and what that was an AFL activity. And then finally down here I've got my plenary. If I just put a capital in there instead. Oops. There we go. And that final activity was 10 minutes long. So if I just close that now, what you will see is that has now been updated, to show the sequence of activities that I want for this particular lesson. And that, in a nutshell, is how to create your lesson infographic for use by your students within the lesson. That is my lesson. There are my timings. These are the type of activities that I am using. Thank you for watching. One last thing that I just want to point out to you, referring back to the lesson donut over here, which I forgot to do on the original video, is if I click back onto there and on chart tools, what some of you may have actually noticed is that if I go to edit data, okay, I put in 5 rows of data, adding an additional 6, and it didn't appear on the chart. The easy way around that actually is if you just scroll down a touch, it says to resize chart data, drag lower right hand corner of range. So basically if you drag these down to make sure that all of the activities you want to include on the donut are actually highlighted. Okay, thank you.